Hello, my name is Julia, and this is my CS32 piece set number two. Okay, let's get right let's get right into it. Piece at 2 a.m. Um I was looking for when you find an open quote and then you go on and go forth and go look for a closed quote, but you can't find one. And that's because it got rid of the dialogue got rid of it. And so I just like check if you found an open quote and then you're looking for the closed quote, but you find a new line quote instead of finding the closed quote. And so in this new line character has it just indicates to you that you don't have the closed quote. So what you have to do is you have to get rid of the new line. Um, you get rid of the new line and then you pl add the close quotation and then you can print it off. And let's check if this works. Oops. Sorry, I need to check which text file you guys want us to use talkative for. Wonderful. Oops. Wonderful. Wonderful. There are end quotations now. Wonderful. Okay, let's move on. Bring over we keep what I edited before, but now we're checking to get rid of the commas because we want periods instead. So we check for the commas. So let's say you find an open quote and then you're looking for your close quote. And then every time you find your close quote, you gotta like -1 from the index just to check whether or not if it's a comma. Because if it's a comma at the close quote, then that means we have to change it to a period instead. And so that's exactly what we do. Change it to a period. And because for this one we're adding the close quotation, you just have to do I instead of I-1, which makes sense. And then this is just condenser work so that we don't have to keep typing in the I-1 stuff. Wonderful. We're just checking to see the comma here. I don't recall which text we need to use. Wonderful. Wonderful. Good. This is the hard part. Um, First things first, we don't use dot find anymore. We just like we chop the sentence up into pieces. Um, so we get rid of the scaffolding and now we split, dot split. And so imagine like a sentence that's like he said, quote, hi, unquote, and quote, bye, unquote. So if you split by the double quote characters, now you're gonna have like what is it? Index 0, which is he said, and then hi is going to be 1, and is going to be 2, and by is going to be 3. Yeah, 0, hi, 1, by 2, and 2 by 3. Yeah. And then now I'm going to iterate. I want to like check each item in the list now. But we start at 1. Why? Because when we iterate, like when we chopped it up, index 0 is like he said, it's not part of the quotation. And you don't want that. You want only the quotation. You want to print that off for the dialogue. So you don't do 0, you start at 1. And then 1 all the way to the end of the list. And then you do every 2, like that 2 is just like you check every other part in your list. Um, because if you think about it, he said hi and bye. The only parts of the sentence that you want in the quotation, like are part of the quotations, are hi and bye, like hi, comma, bye. And those are indexes one and three, which makes sense because if you have a quotation, then you have to have non-quotation characters in the sentence, and then you can have another quotation if you so please. Mm, so that just accounts for that. And then this is just checking. You check each, because now you know, because you're checking every other character, every other part in your chopped up sentence, um, you know that you know that every part is part of a quotation. And so this is just checking, like whether or not the quotation ended. Um, like just if you add one and it's like less than the total length of your list, then you know that the quotation ended. And so you can print it off and you can just plug it into our function right there and it works. Yay. Or if it's equal to one, womp womp. Or if it's like greater than one, womp womp. Wait, yeah. Well, like if it's just like else, then it's gonna be that it hasn't ended, and so annoying. Now we have to go look for the close quote because it wasn't on this line. So now we that leads us to our S1, which is our else statement. You also split the parts here. Um, if you like, oh, this part though. Um, Now it's two because your quote was like at the beginning part of the sentence, which is now zero. And so because you that was part of the quotation, now it throws off the pattern that we noticed before. Now the pattern is even numbers. Or like it starts at zero and now we go to two because one is now a non-quotation character. And so you index it's the same thing. You index through all the parts, but you start at two now. Yeah, basically it. Okay, now we can check. Talkative 8. Yes. Yes, it works. I've seen weird quotations here too many times, driving me crazy. And this part was relatively easy in comparison. But however, comma, I did keep trying to capitalize a quotation instead of the letter in the first letter in the dialogue. Um, and now I fixed it, so I indexed into the first one. Let's see if it works. Home view 6, 6, 7. See if it works. Yippee! It works. Wonderful. Thank you. Um, thank you for watching my pset. I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.